Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hello everyone, this is Ashima and you're watching us on Entri channel. So this is a video on which we're going to talk about the China weather modification program. Now this program has been quite in news. The reason is that this program was very enhanced program, and this program was a kind of affecting a lot of arenas, including the arena of India. So, what exactly is weather modification? We'll be talking about what exactly is weather modification and how does it affect a particular country and the nearby areas as well. So, if a particular country is, aiming towards weather modification, how is it going to affect that country and the neighboring countries and all around as well? And why it is such a debatable topic? Why is it in news as of now? So first of all, what is weather modification? Now, as you can see here, anything, as the name suggests, any process which will affect the weather on various prospects is weather modification. For example, if it is too much of winter and you use something so that the winter weather is not very chilly, not very chilly. So that is weather modification. From a very chilly weather, from a freezing winter, you moved to a not very chilly weather. If it is a rainy weather and you decide no rains today, and therefore there are no rains for the whole month, so from rainy you have moved to no rainy season. That is weather modification. So making changes in the environment in such a way that the weather is affected of the whole country or a particular area. It's not necessary that a particular country is there, it might be of the whole arena as well. So that is weather modification. As of now, the processes which we use for weather modification is modification of clouds, or you can say modification of rains, right? So we inject or you can say we make the condensation process of clouds either very fast so that the rainy season or the rains fall before some time, or we delay the process so that the rains fall after a particular time, or they move their direction, that is from one particular place to another particular place, right? That is weather modification. And very important process or a very important thing which can be associated with it is cloud seeding. So before we go for cloud seeding, how did this idea altogether come in? There was an operation Popeye, right? There is an operation by the name Operation Popeye where it was first introduced, or a cloud seeding was done for the first time. It was by US Air Force, and this was at the time of Vietnam War in 1967 72. At this time in the Vietnam War, to affect the war or to make a certain changes and win as a classified format to disrupt the particular specific area of Ho Chi Minh Trail, this Operation Popeye was launched by United States Air Force. Since then, there have been certain this was not acceptable because it was affecting a lot of things for obvious reasons. So, to make that less effective, or to make this something which does not affect the other areas in a particular thing such as rainfall, a certain agreement was signed, and after that this process has been in research in a lot of arenas, but nothing of such huge impact has been seen. Time to time China keeps using it, but it is not at that extent. Now, how does cloud seeding happen? First of all, we'll have a look at this. Then we will see how China is putting that to use. So, in cloud seeding, you are planting the seeds of silver iodide or particles of silver iodide into the clouds. When they reach the targeted cloud, at that time they make the condensation process of clouds quite fast. When the condensation process is fast, the clouds become heavy and they fall down. They may fall as ice crystals if we want them. They may fall as rain if we want them. It completely depends on the amount of silver iodide that has been injected into the clouds. But in this, what is important is cloud seeding is via injection of silver iodide. This can be via air, that is using airplanes, or via land with a ground based generator. So either ways can be used. Either we can use a ground based generator or we can use airplanes. We inject the silver iodide into the clouds and they become heavy and they rain down. It can either, now how does this affect? It can either make the rain fast. So, for example, the winds are flowing, clouds are coming in, and in a particular area we want that here it should rain. So, we will make the clouds heavy in that area so that the rain falls on. Supposing we don't want that in a particular area, the rain should not happen as of now because there are crops which are there, or there is certain function which is happening, it should not be affected. So at that time what happens, we make the clouds rain before time, so that ways it can be prevented from a particular area rainfall. So that is how cloud seeding affects the, you can say, rainfall pattern of any area. Now on this, there are certain cases which have been filed where it has been reported that it is stealing of clouds. That is, since I told you we can make the rainfall come earlier, so by making that rainfall earlier, you're preventing the other area from getting that waters that should have fallen in the particular area. For example, just for example, the winds are blowing in, and winds are flowing in, and the rainfall is supposed to happen. As for the wind is blowing and the cloud formation, the rainfall will happen in the region of Gujarat, right? But for saying that Rajasthan state wants more rainfall at that time, Gujarat doesn't want the rainfall. So when the clouds reach the area of Rajasthan, we make the clouds rain by injecting or by a cloud seeding. This is the most basic process. We do that and rainfall falls in. Now, supposing both the states want the rainfall, right? But clouds will reach Rajasthan first and will reach Gujarat later. So, Rajasthan does the seeding and gets the rainfall, and Gujarat is left with no rainfall. So, there's a drought situation over there. This is how the bad effect is. Good effect is when Gujarat doesn't need it, Rajasthan needs it. So, they do the rainfall and they benefit from it, and Gujarat is also saved, Rajasthan is also saved. But on the certain scenario, if it happens that both of them want it, then it can be cloud stealing, or you can say water stealing, because all the clouds have been utilized by Rajasthan and Gujarat is left with none, making it a drought prone area now. That is a basic process via which this cloud seeding can give the negative effect, right? So, what have been the recent developments? The recent developments are that China has revealed that it is going to expand the experimentation process. As of now, China has been doing huge experimentation on how to affect the weather as of whole. Just as I told you in an earlier section, that it's not just rain, it's about winters, it's about summers, it's about everything. All the weathers can be affected. So for that, China has been doing a certain forms of research on its own and has approximately spent 1.34 billions as of now. And recent breakthrough is that they can affect about 5.5 million square kilometers of area if this weather modification program comes into force. Now, this means that more than 1.5 times of total size of India can be affected via this program. And if this whole programs come into force, by 2025, China will have a developed weather modification program, and it will be able to affect a huge arena. Now, is China the only country that is working on it? No. There are other countries also that are working on it. Initially, as I told you, it was United States of America which did that. But later on also, US has also such programs where weather modification is coming into force, or they are experimenting on a lot of things. But the largest force as of now is of Beijing. Beijing is or you can say China is one of those countries which is very much interested into that, and it is very keen on making the development possible. Right now, initially, it was supposedly used at the time when the Beijing Olympics were there in 2008. At that time, there was a possibility that the rainfall would happen at the time of inauguration or the opening of the Olympics. So they changed the weather. You can say they made the rainfall happen before, due to which the whole opening ceremony was saved. This is how a benefit thing happened about, you can say, the clear sky was attained, which was a beneficial thing at the point. But as far as the investment is going on as of now, this time, like in the last year, they had done or prevented 70% of hailstorms using this process. So via this, in Xinjiang region, they prevented 70% of hail damage. Again, a beneficial thing. Via cloud seeding, they did that. But the upcoming news that is coming is that it is going to affect, when this whole program comes into force or they begin using this, it could lead to more ambitious geoengineering projects that is affecting a lot of arenas of various nearby countries or neighboring countries. Now, if they make the rainfall happen earlier, it is going to affect the rainfall in India also, because the winds that flow, the flow of winds that is going to be affected, and there's no clouds that is going to come in. So when there are no clouds, we won't be able to do that. So there is a possibility of rain stealing that might happen. And the weather conditions, since we are already agriculture based country, so a lot of things will be affected via this rainfall stealing process, that they might come into force after it affects whole of the arenas as of now, right? And if proper check is not implemented, or you can say a proper checking body is not implemented, there is a, a speculation from National Taiwan University which states that it will affect not only India but other countries as well on the prospect. Because even if we want to do the cloud seeding, as we say, even if we want to, we need to have the clouds for that purpose. If clouds are not even remaining, how are we going to affect on that, right? So without regulation, if this is implemented by 2005, the expectation is that in the coming future, that is after 2025, it might start affecting larger areas and controlling the weather condition of a lot more areas. So it can either make huge rainfall, especially in the areas of Assam, which are quite scared about this, because in the areas of Assam, if it is too much regulated, either Assam will become completely drought prone, or they might cause floods in Assam. Either the possibility, as I told you, there's either a possibility. So this is quite possible that it might affect the areas of Assam, Bihar, Arunachal. Northeast segment is going to be quite affected directly via this, either being drought prone or being you can say floody area. And it is going to affect the agriculture segment, because if we do not have a particular amount of rainfall, the agricultural arena is going to be affected. That means the majority of the country is going to be affected via this. So this regulation body is in demand right now, that there should be a regulation body on weather control. That is, weather modification should be done at a certain prospect. Certain prospect being that when it is beneficial to both the parties, or majority segment is beneficial, rather than it being beneficial only to a particular country, right? So this is the area why this whole prospect is coming into news and is becoming a huge speculation, right? Over here, what you need to know is about what is cloud seeding, and how is it done, that is what particles are used for that. And since this is not the only process, although they have not revealed all the research processes, but any you can say updates that happen on that, that is also quite important, that what updates are happening on that, or what particles are being used, or what technology is coming up. Now China is one of those countries which has started the testing of 6G, right? We all know 6G testing has started in China. We all know that it is working a huge prospect on implementation of 6G in a quite faster way. And it was the first country to have launched 13 satellites on single go. Right. So right now, technological advancements of China are happening at a very fast rate. You need to be updated about those. And this international, you can say, relations. As for the examination, international relations that we have with India, between India and China, the three-step disarmament that is happening, and all the other arenas that are happening, Doklam issue, Pangong Tso Lake, all of these are very important. So Pangong So Lake is important. This is for examination people. Pangong So Lake, Doklam is also very important, because after the Doklam issue of 2016, recently, in a recent development, Ministry of Defense has set up the Deputy Chief of Army Staff, and it has also set up a separate arena on that in headquarters. So there are certain developments that have happened after the Doklam issue that happened. So that is also important, very important. So you need to keep a bit of updates about that, because in international relations for UPSC students and for SSC students, it is about, you can say, more about the inter-country relations that are happening and the updates about that. So I hope this video was helpful and it helped you keep in touch with a lot of things and got to you a lot of things in clarity. In case of any doubt, you can ask them in the comment section and they will be answered by me as soon as they come to the notice. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day ahead. See you in the next video.